Hey everyone, I am going to put together this week. This is week 16. I actually printed the photos twice, and to me they're still looking blue on my printer, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the spread together, but I'm gonna replace the photos when the professional photos from Persnickety Prints come. But I just wanted to move forward on this project because I'm so close to the end. For this week, week 16, I will be using the Ali Edwards Stories by the Month April kit. I pulled out a few things and I will just cut them down for this 8.5 by 11 spread. So let's get started. So now I am going to move off all these supplies since I had them out to show you, and I'm going to kind of place my photos and my cards where I want them. And like I said, my photos printed blue, but I realized that a lot of my photos had blue in them, so maybe that was throwing my printer off. I'm not sure, but I'm going to lay this stuff out and try to balance out the photos, and I wanted to make sure that the ones of my son and I and my daughter and I, one was at the top and one was at the bottom. And now I'm going to cut this card down to size. For me, it's easier to just take one of the photos and lay it over the card and cut it down that way. And for now, I'm going to put it up at the top. And then I pull out these stickers. I think those stickers were also part of the Stories by the Month kit, and I'm going to cut it apart. That way I can add it to the photo of my son. It says picture perfect, and I'm just going to cut it and adjust it so that way it can sit right next to that little negative spot. There you go. Now it can fit. He looks so handsome in his little outfit. And then I have another one of my daughter and I laying in the grass, and that one says spring is in the air. I was going through my chipboard from the Stories by the Month kits and trying to see if I had anything that fit. I pulled out this one that says so lovely, and I was going to use it, but then eventually I just put it back, and I do use a word sticker that says this photo. And then I'm going to put another one of my daughter and her friend and jumping, and I'm going to put favorite for that one. Now I'm going to pull out all my stamps, which is my favorite thing to do lately, is to use stamps, and I'm going to stamp out some sentiments. I'm going to start with the that awesome cloud shape, and I'm going to stamp a few love this. So I'm going to stamp several of these cloud shapes because I'm not sure which color I want to use, whether it's the gray or the blue. And then I'm also going to stamp the month April. I'm going to stamp that a few times. And I'm also going to stamp get outside because several of these photos were outside. And I'm going to get out my blue inks, and I'm also going to stamp in those colors as well, since my main journaling card had some blue in it as well. And I always like to balance out the colors. Now I'm going to stamp most loved piece of today, and I'm going to stamp that in both of my blue inks because I wasn't sure which color I would want. I'm going to stamp that, and then I'm going to stamp it again. And then I'm going to get out a stamp that says living life one day at a time, and I'm going to put that on the main journaling card. And then I have the journaling cards completed. And then I had to kind of take a step back from the layout and just make sure that I had all the colors kind of represented. So I went hunting in my stash, and I found that blue heart piece that says yes, and that matches the journaling card perfect. I also found some gray week in the life little strips of paper that had phrases on them. So I'm going to use that along with a transparency on the left. And I also took some old chipboard, I think from a December Daily set, to make little arrows for my main journaling card, which kind of goes together with the other chipboard on this spread. And I loved those little arrows. Such a clever idea to use up. I thought it was a very clever idea to use up my old chipboard. And I'm also going to switch the photos of my son and my daughter on the ledge. And I will add in the 16 number to my photo. Make a little cluster right there of embellishments and different textures. And then I will be wrapping up this spread. The spread kind of threw me off with the blue color on the main journaling card, but I'm glad that I kind of took a step back and went hunting in my stash for different pieces that will help me finish up this spread. So I cut a card, a piece of paper, so that way I could use it for the main card in the middle. I'm going to staple that transparency I found and also that blue chipboard piece. I don't remember where that chipboard piece is. I think it's from a Day in the Life kit. And then I've cut out my stamped sentiments, and I'm going to place those now as well. At the bottom, I'm going to put a love this one, and then the most loved piece of today, I'm going to put that at that top photo of my son when he was running a race. And then I also found a really cool gray chipboard piece that said, "This everyday stuff has my heart." So I'm going to put that with my kids. They were dancing on the lawn as they said bye to Dad for work. And then now I'm going to put "Get Outside" for this photo of my son and I, and glue down the "Love This" and the 16, and I am pretty much done with this layout after that. I love that little cluster and the photo of my daughter and I. Such a cute photo. And now I'm just going to add those little gray word strips I was telling you about from Week in the Life. I'm going to put "Life is full of adventure," and I used a April details card and cut it down so I could add in the details of April. Okay, so this spread is done. I really love it. I actually love how that main journaling card was a little bit of a challenge, and I used up some old stash, and I found a way to use up leftover chipboard. So yeah, I love how this came together. I hope you enjoyed watching. I would love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thanks. Bye.